Welcome to eduquestzone. Let's begin the quiz. Question 192. The synapse is the junction between two neurons where nerve impulses are transmitted. True or false? True. Question 193. In humans, the pituitary gland secretes growth hormone which regulates body growth. True or false? True. Question 194. The adrenal glands secrete adrenaline which prepares the body for fight or flight response. True or false? True. Question 195. In humans, the spleen stores and recycles red blood cells. True or false? True. Question 196. In humans, the pancreas secretes insulin which lowers blood glucose levels. True or false? True. Question 197. In plants, guard cells regulate the opening and closing of stomata. True or false? True. Question 198. In humans, the medulla oblongata controls involuntary functions like heartbeat and breathing. True or false? True. Question 199. In humans, the small intestine secretes bile to aid in digestion. True or false? False. Question 200. In plants, xylem vessels are dead at maturity and help in water transport. True or false? True. Question 201. In humans, the atrioventricular valves prevent backflow of blood from ventricles to atria. True or false? True. Question 202. In humans, the liver detoxifies harmful substances and produces bile. True or false? True. Question 203. In humans, the right atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs. True or false? False. Question 204. In humans, the hormone thyroxine is secreted by the thyroid gland and regulates metabolism. True or false? True. Question 205. In plants, chlorophyll absorbs light mainly in the red and blue regions of the spectrum. True or false? True. Question 206. In humans, the large intestine absorbs water and forms feces. True or false? True. Question 207. In humans, hemoglobin in red blood cells carries oxygen from lungs to tissues. True or false? True. Question 208. In humans, the glomerulus is a part of the nephron involved in filtration of blood. True or false? True. Question 209. In humans, the esophagus connects the pharynx to the stomach and moves food by peristalsis. True or false? True. Question 210. In plants, auxins are plant hormones that regulate cell elongation and growth. True or false? True. Question 211. In humans, the auditory ossicles in the middle ear transmit sound vibrations from the eardrum to the inner ear. True or false? True. Question 212. In humans, the renal artery carries unfiltered blood into the kidneys. True or false? True. Question 213. In humans, The diaphragm contracts during inhalation, increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity. True or false? True. Question 214. In plants, transpiration is the loss of water vapor from leaves primarily through stomata. True or false? True. Question 215. In humans, the cerebellum coordinates voluntary movements and maintains balance. True or false? True. Question 216. In humans, the right ventricle pumps blood into the pulmonary artery. True or false? True. Question 217. In humans, the red bone marrow produces red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. True or false? True. Question 218. In humans, the gallbladder stores and releases bile to aid in the digestion of carbohydrates. True or false? False. Question 219. In plants, phloem transports sugars and other organic substances from leaves to other parts of the plant. True or false? True. Question 220. In humans, the adrenal cortex secretes cortisol, which helps in metabolism and stress response. True or false? True. Question 221. In humans, the thymus gland is involved in the maturation of T lymphocytes for immunity. True or false? True. Thank you for watching. Visit eduquestzone.com for more quizzes.